the next topic of interest is going to be support resistance. I have the amount of trades I have won perfecting support and resistance is incredible. It blows my mind. Every day we come on the live streams, I plot support resistance, I look at the candles, and I tend to see that, okay, if this is going to get respected, how can I have a profitable trade? How can I have a profitable morning by just trading support resistance? This is a very simple concept, but it is overlooked a lot. And this has been my bread and butter for the past 2-3 years. So we're going to divide this into two columns here, support and resistance, right? Support is an area on the chart from where the candles are most likely to reject, which also means there's a higher chance for them to finish bullish. Right now, if you remember, we talked about time frames, right? We talked about how the 15-minute and the 5-minute is a weak time frame. So when you're drawing a support on the 15-minute time frame, there's a low probability that that support is going to get respected. Because that's a excuse me. So because that's a very weak time frame. So when you're looking at supports, you're looking at a higher time frame, like the 30-minute time frame, the 1-hour time frame, because those time frames are much more prone to get respected, right? So support is formed at the low of the particular time frame. For candles to move bullish, they have to create higher highs and higher lows. This is very important. So now when we go back to the time frames example, if you look at the 15-minute time frame, sometimes you'll see that even though the 15-minute is moving up, sometimes candles, they don't make higher highs and higher lows. They will break the lows of the previous candles. They will do those funny things. So it's always important to look at the 30-minute time frames where candles are making higher highs and higher lows. In the same way, when we're looking at this example right over here, we have a support, right? So let's say we have a support down over here, and let's say this is the 1-hour time frame. We're looking at the 1-hour time frame, and we see that the 1-hour candle at the bottom right over here has closed bullish, right? So if this is a 30-minute time frame, or if this is a 1-hour time frame, there's a very high chance that the next candle is going to continue moving bullish, right? Just like the candle did right over here. So the next candle moves bullish. It makes a higher high, which is right over here, and it makes a higher low right over here, right? So if we continue on moving, for price to continue moving up to the next resistance, which is going to be right over here, because whenever candles are moving, the candles are always looking left. The candles are looking left to see that, okay, what did my buddies do previously, right? So whenever candles are moving, they're always looking left to see, okay, maybe I'd want to move up till this point right over here. So for price to continue on bullish, it has to make higher highs and higher lows. So if you see here, the candles will make higher highs and higher lows, and so on and so forth, right? So whenever price is at a support, you're looking at a higher time frame, like the 30-minute time frame, 1-hour time frame, and if you see that the candles are closing bullish on the 30-minute or the 1-hour, there's a very high chance price is going to continue moving up. So when you're taking a trade, what sometimes happens is that guys are going to say that, guys and gals, because we have some gals here too, guys and gals are going to say is that, okay, well, since this candle closed bullish, I'm going to wait for a confirmation, right? Someone who likes to take on risk, they might say, well, this one bullish candle is enough for me to take a trade. So they might take a trade, and this candle will be their trading candle, and the next one is going to go up, and they'll be like, okay, perfect. Now, someone can say that, okay, I'm going to wait for this confirmation to close, right? Now you're waiting for the next confirmation to close. What might happen is that you might miss some pips here, right? You might miss some pips over here. So when you're waiting for this to close, now you might want to enter on this candle. Now, when you're looking at candles, your trades are not big moves. You have to understand this. A lot of people, they're coming in from a swing trading perspective. Some have had like great success. Some have had maybe not so much success at all. So when you're looking at moves to catch, you're looking at, okay, what candle can I catch, right? Your trades are your 30-minute candles, your 1-hour candles, your 4-hour candles. Like, just imagine a day, right? You wake up, you come to the charts and you're like, okay, my aim is to catch one 1 hour candle, and that's going to be my trade of the day. Right? If you can wake up every morning and come with the mindset that, okay, I'm going to try to catch one 1 hour candle and that's all what I'm going to do, man, you're going to have a lot of success. There's going to be no anxiety. There's going to be no pressure, no stress at all. But if you're going to come to a chart with the mindset of, okay, I have to catch a huge move to make my losses back, man, trust me, it's not going to end well at all, because now you're going to be trading under pressure, right? So whenever you're looking at the charts, you're looking to see that, okay, where is the support being formed? Right? And if you have a support being formed, what time frame is that support on? Is that on a 30-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame, 4 hour, much better, daily, excellent. Weekly, perfect. Monthly, I don't even know someone who trades on monthly here. But you get the point, right? Let's move on to our wonderful resistance here. Now, some people like selling, some people like buying. I like buying more, so when I first started, I would be more prone to buying than selling, because I would like price going up. I wouldn't like price going down. So I really had to change that mindset. Some people have these issues. Some like selling, some like it easier that price goes down, and some like it easier that price goes up. But as you move along, as you get more consistent, as you start looking at price from a perspective that, okay, I'm only going to trade in this one session, you start to notice that price basically moves the same way moving up or moving down. That's a very like a hard psychological thing to get over, but eventually you will. So now we're talking about resistances, right? A resistance is an area on the chart from where candles are most likely to reject, which also means there's a higher chance for them to finish bearish, right? In the same way, when we're talking about time frames, resistance is found at the highs of the particular time frame. For candles to move bearish, they have to create lower lows and lower highs. Now, throughout the presentation, we're going to talk about lower lows, lower highs. We're going to talk about higher lows and higher highs. We're going to talk about price making a high and retesting the high, or price making a low and retesting the low. I'm going to talk about this over and over again, because when you're looking at, let's say, different patterns, you look at different patterns, you're like, okay, head and shoulders. How are the head and shoulders formed? They're formed when candles are moving, and those patterns, they're formed when candles respect supports, when candles break resistances, when candles go through zones. That's how those things are formed, and when you can really understand what stories the candles are telling you, man, you can ride those candles, which means you can trade those candles. So the candles were built for us to trade on. Right? First, let's say that this is a 1 hour time frame. So when we're looking at this chart, this piece of chart right here, the first thing that we notice is that, okay, we might be creating a support down here, right? And there was a resistance to the left, so price may be acting in this area. So when price is acting in this area, there's no sell. And also there's no buy at this point, because we don't know where price is going to go, because it's true we're at resistance, but we don't have a bearish candle forming at resistance. We have a candle that's closing doji, so we wait a little bit, right? We wait, and once we see a bullish candle forming at resistance, it's still not a sell. Now, the main problem that people have, that when price starts to move bullish towards the resistance, they start anticipating a sell. It's true that the sell is going to happen, but there's no confirmation yet. The candle has not flipped in your direction, so you really have to wait for candle to flip in your direction. I can see some people are closing their eyes. They're kind of like dozing in and out. Just go wash your face and it's going to be all okay. All right, so now when you have a candle closing bearish at resistance, this is where you can see that, okay, now I have some sort of confirmation. Now the candles have flipped at resistance bearish, so now I can possibly maybe take a trade. Maybe I can say that, okay, if I take a trade here, and if I keep my stop loss above the candle, now I want candles to make lower lows and lower highs, and then you will have lower lows and lower highs, and price will continue on down, right? So whenever you have candles at resistances, there's going to be a very high chance, if you're looking at the 30-minute, 1 hour or the 4 hour, that you will have a bearish candle printing at resistance, right? And that's going to be a very high probability that the preceding candles are going to start making lower lows and lower highs. Even in the same way, if you have candles closing down at support here, there's a very high chance candles will start making higher highs and higher lows, right? So that's something that you have to be very cognizant about. Like, those things are very, very important. Let's continue on towards, let's see. So next we're going to talk about